On this week's show, we're discussing the brand new multiplayer Horizon game coming to PlayStation PC from Guerrilla Studios, everything revealed at the Nintendo Switch Direct, Nioh 3 reviews, and much, much more on this week's GamerGuild Podcast. Good game, everyone, and welcome back to your weekly gaming show, the GamerGuild Podcast, where we get together and round up all of the week's video game news for your listening or viewing pleasure right here on youtube.com/GamerGuildTV and available up there in the digital clouds on your podcast platform of choice. Just search for the GamerGuild Podcast and you will find us there every single Monday, 8 a.m. when this show goes live. Your podcast players for the week, a relatively healthy Mr. Chris at Arcane Rogue on social media, and the stuffy one, the man of many pixels, Mr. Richie. How are your sinuses, my friend?
Terrible. I can barely breathe. I haven't been able to breathe through my nose for about 2 weeks now.
You can hear it.
It kind of sucks. Yeah.
You can hear it.
I'm just all bunged up and I'm addicted to Lemsip.
That's how it starts. You'll be on crack cocaine next week.
I need to get some Addictol to cure it.
To cut it off. Just chop your nose off. But I guess apologies in advance for audio listeners. If you're one of those of the faint-hearted who doesn't like coughs, breathing, spluttering,
I'll do what I can to avoid it. I can't do anything about sounding the way I do, unfortunately.
No, you do sound interesting. I've not had sniffles, but I've had my daughter had like a cough and a sore throat and a nose blocked, and then both me and my wife immediately the next morning were like, "Oh, my throat's like really tickly," and then you can start to feel your nose go. It's like it's gonna get us. It's gonna get us, but touch wood for now. I'm not quite. Thankfully, we're in a digital world.
Mine is generally all in the nose, and some days I wake up and go, "Oh, I don't feel too bad today. Maybe I get better." Then the next day goes, "Nope."
Yeah, it's the sleep. I always find as soon as you get like to kind of like half 10, 11 o'clock at night, you get worse. It's like, no, this is the time I need to be okay to lay down, and all the fluid moves around in your head.
Yeah, you wake up about 8 times, they just blow your nose.
Yeah, tissues everywhere, and not the good reason. Anyway, we do have a great
2 minutes in.
We do have a great show lined up for you all. But before we get into all that, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the ding ding, that bell, so you're kept in the loop with all the great content we do here on the channel, just like this very show, and live streams occasionally. More importantly, some different stuff on the channel right now. We've got PlayStation Retro Hunt. Just went live for members. The Rayman episode has gone up for members, so go enjoy that. I think the Rayman one actually might be going fully live. There's another one in the pipeline. I can't remember the order, but basically, if you're into retro hunting, there's that there. There's also a live stream up of Alan Wake 2 in partnership with Amazon Luna's blog post, which we'll get into in the news. So there's quite a lot of stuff going on there as well. And I'm trying to think, in between all that, there's probably some other special things that are going to drop on the channel anyway, so hey-ho. This weekend, myself and Richie, we're actually off on an adventure with our fellow co-host friend Tom. We're going to a retro gaming market. So will I no doubt spend lots of money on retro games to fill out the library behind me? Yes, I will. Do I need Richie and Tom to hold me back? Most likely. Will Richie buy anything? I know last year you were teased by, there was a backwards compatible PS3 and a retrofitted Game Boy Color, if I recall, were the two kind of big things that caught your eye.
I am not in a position to buy anything right now.
Remember last year when you told me, as soon as I've sold my house, I might have bought one, and here we are, a year later.
My house, I've agreed to sell my house. Much to my annoyance, the paperwork isn't finalised yet, so I still own the bloody thing.
Home ownership.
It's been on the market for over a year now, and it's just
That's
wild.
It
sucks.
We'll get there. We'll get there one day, and you can spend all the money on all of the Lemsip and medical requirements you need. But I'm looking forward to it. We'll probably we'll go out for some food.
Looking forward to a day out.
We'll see friends. Yeah, we'll go travel. So yes, at the time of listening to this, if you're checking it out at the start of the week, we've already gone. So keep your eyes on PlayStation Retro Hunt. I might have something. We might pull a little bit of a video together. It's been a while since the three of us went on an adventure to do with gaming. So keep your eyes locked to the channel. A side quest. Perhaps we'll see. But yes, I'm looking forward to that. But as I said, Richie, we do have a great show lined up for everyone. But we like to start every show by talking about what we've been playing recently. And I alluded to it a little bit, but I've went back to Alan Wake 2 in terms of Amazon Luna. I'm not going to play anymore. There was a part during the live stream that I really wanted to kind of just keep going. because it gets its hooks in you so early, and it's such a gorgeous game. And I'm readying myself for Resident Evil Requiem, so it's so similar. I was all ready to go, and then I had to check myself and go, no, you finished this, you platinum this. There's other things to go enjoy right now. But it did get me hyped for Resident Evil Requiem, and it has led me to go and play the original Resident Evil, which I know loads of people in our Discord server will be thrilled about. I tried it on on my PS3 via backwards compatible for the original disc. I needed the modern version, so I've downloaded the PS5 port of the HD GameCube version, I think it is.
Right, I was going to say which version. So you try to play the original PS1 version. OG. Now you're on the GameCube version.
Yeah, the tank controls alone took some getting used to, but the visuals, obviously, they are dated. But thankfully, the GameCube HD re-release, it's a director's cut version I've got on my PS5 dashboard. So I think I'm going to go and start it again.
It's quite true to the original, really.
Yeah, it just looks a bit better, I think, is ultimately what I'm looking for. But yeah, so that'll be there. How about yourself? Between taking deep breaths, what have you been up to?
I still haven't got the platinum on Octopath. I've got one boss to fight, but he's much harder than anything else in the game. So I'm having to level up. When I've looked at some guides and stuff, they're all going, oh yeah, from about level 75 you should have no problem in a video when their stats are much, much higher than mine. And I'm like level 80. So it's just like, well, there's these items called nuts, which you can get through the game, which boost your stats. So it's like, you've clearly been farming nuts before you've made a guide saying how easy it is.
Yeah. Farming
so
nuts.
I've got quite a bit of grinding to do. And so this week I've played a little bit, but I'm a bit bored. So I sometimes like I want this platinum, but I need a little bit of a break before I go back and really sink my teeth into this grind and go for it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Sometimes a little bit of a break's good for that type of thing. Yeah. I keep thinking I finished Infamous 2 years ago now, but the whole point of that game, because you have decisions to either be good or be bad, and you can imagine there's a full trophy list for finishing the game in good and a full trophy list for finishing the game in bad. And once I finished it in kind of good mode, I knew all I had to do. But you're just like, I really don't want to just go back to the start and go through it all again just for this like row of trophies. So I thought I'll put a pin in it. Here we are, 15 years later. Maybe one day I'll get back to it. But I feel I feel you're on that one.
I just need a little bit of a breather, so I'll probably go back to Octopath next week and really make a push for the platinum. Yep. So this week I've actually just been dabbling a bit with Fallout 4.
Oh yeah.
For no other reason than I've been watching Fallout. I have the game. Nothing really interesting doing. I've got the steelbook actually.
Very nice.
Look at that beauty. I've also been playing a bit of Morrowind on PC. Again, watching Fallout, so playing a bit of Fallout and go, I fancy playing something else Bethesda. So I went to my PC. It's like, oh, what have I got? Oh, Morrowind, I haven't played that in years. So I've installed it. I'm not planning anything serious. I'm just killing a bit of time before I go back to Octopath for the platinum. Yeah. And then up next is this.
Oh, is it still sealed?
It is still sealed.
Factory sealed.
Because it's factory sealed. I bought the Ultimate Edition of Control. Simple reason. I had it on PlayStation Plus, which I no longer have. So I went to like, oh, should I play a bit of Control? When I was like, right when I decided to need that little bit of a breather from Octopath, should I start Control? Then realised I had the lock symbol. I was like, oh, I need PlayStation Plus.
You don't have it anymore.
So it's like, do I get a month of PlayStation Plus? Well, it's for me, realistically, it's probably going to be 2 months of PlayStation Plus by the time I finish Octopath and went back to it and finished it. How much is it on Amazon? The Ultimate Edition was like 23 quid.
Oh.
So, yeah, so I just buy it.
Makes sense if you're going to dig into it. Wonderful. I'm looking forward.
It does come with all the DLC and everything, so...
Fantastic.
I typically wouldn't bother with the Ultimate version, like an Ultimate Edition or something, but the price difference between that and the base version was like literal about £2. And you've always recommended doing the DLC and stuff.
Yeah, well, the DLC, I know you've also got Alan Wake on your kind of radar as well, and the DLC of Control ties in with the DLC from Alan Wake. It kind of unifies the whole connected Remedy verse. So I know you're going to enjoy Control. I know your girlfriend enjoyed Control. Same with Alan Wake. So I kind of think you're just on this track to have like a really good Remedy year. It feels like. I'm kind of jealous in a way as well. Like I said, 10-20 minutes in Alan Wake 2, I was like, oh man, I could just go for this. But Control Resonant presumably is coming out this summer, so I'll be on the same bandwagon you will be in just a few months' time. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Control, the frenetic kind of action gameplay of it's so fun. Like the telekinesis.
Starting to stack up a bit, isn't it?
This year it's one of those things. At the start of the year, and I told myself there's only really James Bond and Resident Evil, and they were both kind of 2-3 weeks apart. But then Bond got pushed back to May. Resident Evil kind of doubled down into February, and now I feel I've got this really good cadence. But there's loads of stuff all scrambling to get in there before Grand Theft Auto, and we'll talk about that in the news later because that's kind of like a big point. Same with your point to Morrowind and Bethesda games and Fallout. Yeah. There's a whole slew of news coming from that as well. So good stuff all around. I think every year is busy with games now, and that's not even including the ones that haven't been announced yet. So shall we get into it then, Richie?
I think we should, yeah.
Well, if we can, and if you can, introduce us to the...
Deep breath. The graciously gathered GamerGuild Gazette, a.k.a. The News.
The News. And as always, the news is brought to you by Lemsip, the cold and flu medication that you can take when you, too, have a blocked nose. Jokes aside, it's brought to you by...
Imagine that was a crazy sponsorship. I got a call to manage to get a Lemsip sponsorship for the podcast because of it.
I'll take it. But realistically, it's brought to you by our wonderful guild heroes, the fantastic members of the channel who support us that extra little bit further, just like you can, from as little as 99p on our bronze membership. I should probably shout as well, the guild heroes make everything happen, because I was having a look at our YouTube channel. Even though we're growing in numbers, our membership's actually dwindling a little bit to a point where we're almost hitting that tipping point, Richie, where the podcast feeds that we actively have paid for 6 years now to distribute onto all those Apple Music platforms, Spotify, Pocket Pod, or whatever it's called now. The tank's starting to get a little bit dry there. So if you are a guild hero, you're thinking about it, now's probably a good time to jump on and support us as we try and bring you more varied content every single week. I don't know if YouTube is starting to take a bigger cut of it or not, but I looked the other day and it was like we have roughly the same members, but for some reason the revenue the channel generates isn't the same. It's about halved, so who knows? Maybe the taxman came for us. All finances aside, though, because that's not what we usually like to dwell on. Topic number 1: PlayStation announced a brand new game coming to PlayStation 5 and PC. Day and date from Guerrilla Studios, the Horizon folks, and the long-rumored, long-awaited Horizon multiplayer game is real. It's here. It's not the MMO mobile RPG that was being worked on in partnership with NetEase. This one is direct from the Guerrilla's mouth as such. Horizon Hunter Gatherers was confirmed with a 9-10 minute video trailer this week, with the devs talking and some trailer and some gameplay footage. And I quote from the blog: Horizon Hunters Gathering is a cooperative action game developed by Guerrilla for PS5 and PC that lets up to 3 players team up as heroic hunters to protect a world under threat from deadly machines. Combat is tactical, reactive, and deeply skill-based, building on the tactical precision of the Horizon games while embracing the dynamics of team play. Richie, yeah. Horizon Hunters Gathering. Let's start with the name first and foremost. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Is it 2 H's back to back? Hunters?
No, I think Horizon Hunters works.
Just doesn't need the gathering.
Yeah.
I agree.
Horizon Gathering works as well.
Yeah, Horizon Hunters I do feel like is a better choice. And then, ironically, the MMORPG one from NetEase, Horizon Steel Frontiers, that's a cool name.
That's better.
That's way better. But I guess it's interesting what they're going for. So immediately, we saw the trailer, we saw the dev video come out, and I've kind of had to do 2 double takes on this one for me, because my immediate pain, and I feel like yours might be the same, the art style.
It's horrendous.
I immediately got just Fortnite. It actually stung me because of how good the visuals are in Horizon. To see this franchise become cartoonified, it hurt me.
The art style is absolutely fine. I personally never warmed to it at all, but it doesn't look terrible or anything like that. My biggest problem is it's so played out. Every cheap knockoff game uses this art style, and I feel like it cheapens.
Clash of Clans.
Yeah, I feel like it cheapens what could have been a better looking game.
Yeah,
but they're clearly targeting that Fortnite crowd and went for the same art style, the same vibe with the way the characters are posing and dancing around.
They're heroes, right? It's like hero shooters.
Yeah, it's a hero shooter. And everything about the presentation of this game, I'm not in on at all. I just don't. It just screams not for me.
Yeah, the trailer looks like it would be great as like an animation, like a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse style animation, where the characters themselves look very varied. There's obviously an element of comedy in it. You've got it's not Val, it's is it Errand from the franchise?
Errand,
Seems to be the kind of the main overarching kind of glue that's going to hold the series together. There is a brief cameo from Aloy, but she basically tells him in the trailer, it's your job to defend the kingdom or something, and he's obviously going to be the main man. They're not going to get Ashley Birch back for this one, it looks like, other than maybe a cameo. But yeah, I couldn't help just get Overwatch vibes mixed with Fortnite, and I've seen a lot of people say across the comments, it's like that's exactly the same thing. It's basically just a hero game. Now, when they eventually got onto the gameplay, so name aside and the art style aside.
Well, can I go quickly back to the character design before we get to it? If you slapped any of these characters and instead of Horizon, you went Overwatch, it works. And that to me is a problem. These character designs don't match, I feel, with like what Horizon should be. Outside of Errand, everyone just looks so generic hero shooter kind of character. And there's been so many of them. These might as well be the Concord. Like, I
did see a lot of Joe comments saying like this is Concord 2 or Concord 3, however you want to look at that for now. Now, you, me, both of us, I think we both have the platinum in both Horizon games now.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, both of them. The art style and the direction in those games are truly stunning. They really, really push that Decima engine to the max with it. And even in like the cutscenes, like when you've got kind of one-on-one dialogue, even the kind of the NPCs and stuff, they all look really good and really detailed. They are able to emote quite well, a lot better than Ubisoft games generally do in such a big open world. But the combat is second to none. The combat in Horizon is brilliant. You've got all your weaponized things, your arrows and stuff, your traps and bombs. They make for really varied assaults on different kind of mecha dinos. And the gameplay loop, in theory, should work fantastically. Like if you gave me Horizon, and just when you and me used to play like Far Cry, you just used to drop into the other person's world and go do stuff together.
Yeah,
I feel like that's all it needed. Just give me the world of Horizon, give me some varied machine missions, and let someone tag along for the ride without really changing anything. And yet they've doubled down on this art style.
Went for the Fortnite art style, which I think that's probably what makes the character designs feel generic to me. I think it's the art style doing it. Where if you transpose their art style into the Decima engine, it made it look like Horizon. Mm-hmm. So then you got some interesting looking characters there.
Yeah.
But I think they missed a trick with a game like this. Consider it's Horizon Hunters Gathering. It's meant to be co-op games, like you and your friends going in. Where's your character customization?
Yeah, they don't.
Why
really
do I have to play
that.
as a hero? Can I not pick a class and just play my character?
Yeah. Again, it might come from the art direction. I know a lot of people lean in and say that they usually go for this art direction because of the nature of the live service game. It needs to be updated on quite a regular basis. So having a lesser detailed, realistic art style means they can update it without damaging it that much.
Yeah, but there's a million other games that look different that have been doing it better. They've been patching games, adding stuff in that do not look. Not every game has to look like Fortnite to be a live service success.
Yeah,
it works. They're clearly targeting people who play Fortnite with this, because they know fine well that this sort of art style does always come with criticism.
Yeah,
you look at a poll
that's
been Push Squares ran on their website. First, do you like Horizon Hunter Gathering's art style? At the time I took a screenshot, they had 2,186 votes. 47% went, it looks rubbish. 34%, it's fine. Only 19% of people said it was good.
Yeah, and Push Square's like your dedicated PlayStation audience as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I picked them for this poll, because I thought it's fairly representative of PlayStation fans.
And I guess that goes back to your point, is it's it might not be for PlayStation fans. It might be PlayStation again, live service casting that net into a new, younger audience who do appeal to Apex, Fortnite, things like that. It's basically, I saw a lot of people say it's Monster Hunter Worlds mixed with Elden Ring Night Rain, where what they've said in terms of the gameplay, what they've announced is it's a squad of 3 people. They drop in, there's 2 mission types so far that they've said, and one of them has like kind of a battle royale ring, circles around you while you're going like a roguelike, gather your things, and take down enemies. That's the one that they've referred to as called Machine Incursion, a high intensity mission where waves of machines pour from underground gateways led by a formidable boss. And then they've got Cauldron Descent, which is a longer multi-stage trial in which ever-changing rooms push hunters to their limits, from brutal machine encounters to hidden doors that promise power and reward for teams preparing to open them. That sounds like a raid. So you've kind of got the 2 generic multiplayer styles that you would do. It says both of them have become available as part of a closed beta test, which they'll be running soon. I've signed up to it just because I want to give it a chance, because I don't think off the bat, as a PlayStation fan through and through, I would pay money for this. That's the thing. So if the open beta I played and it's fun, maybe the art style I can kind of just come around to, because it doesn't look bad. It just doesn't appeal to me as a Horizon fan, and that's where my worry comes from. Is are they leaving behind that core audience which made Horizon what it is today?
I don't think they are. I think there will be a Horizon 3. This is the new direction for Horizon. So I'm not worried about Horizon as a franchise. It's just very much this game is not for me.
Yeah.
There's nothing about this game that appeals to me, to be honest. Like, I don't like the fact you have to play heroes. I don't like the way the heroes interact with the world. It looks very slapstick, where Horizon is quite serious. I know you can slide under stuff, but like, there's a guy like riding around on a power hammer. It looks like the sort of thing a 12-year-old would be really into.
Is that the pull?
Yeah, that's it. This is what I mean. The game is clearly not for me.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in playing a full game in co-op.
Yeah.
It does have story, so fair play there, but they haven't really went into how deep the story is. Is the story there for like 5-10 hours, and then all of a sudden it's just rinse and repeat on the missions, and you start going like very similar to Marvel's Avengers, the purpose of what you're doing is long since got forgotten.
Quite possibly. They did say the story is canon in the Horizon universe, even though it's a different art style. They did say it's all canon within that Aloy story. They said they're going to keep that on a lid on it now because they want you to enjoy it at the time of launch, and they don't want to kind of spoil it, which is fair play.
That's fair.
They said in between missions, you're going to go to the Hunter's Gathering, which anyone who's played the main games will know these are kind of the social hubs that people go to in the main games, where you kind of get upgrades, you get sent on hunting quests for kind of machine parts and stuff, and you can upgrade your gear, essentially. So this is going to be the social hub in this world where you're going to connect with other people, prepare, celebrate your victories together, which again, I don't know what would you celebrate a victory in a multiplayer game? Do you just kind of hang around and pretend to do like emojis and dance and stuff like that?
Probably, but it's basically a lobby before you go decide the exhibition.
Essentially.
You go to the shop, you sell your loot, you buy your new weapons. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah. They do end the blog post, Guerrilla, by saying, like, on a personal note, this is both an exciting and daunting step for us. Multiplayer games have always been a part of the studio's DNA. Shout out to Killzone Multiplayer. That was fantastic. And it's where I began my own career. This is the gentleman who kind of presents the whole dev showcase. Bringing a co-op hunting experience into the Horizon universe is something we've envisioned for a long time, and we're approaching it with care, ambition, and passion. I hope the coming months give you a sense of scale and complexity of what we've been building, or better yet, let you experience it yourself in a playtest. On behalf of everyone at Guerrilla, thank you for the Horizon fans and creators who support and believe in us. Now, I do think that's one thing that I'm probably overlooking on all this because of the art style. It's thrown me off a little bit. It's a co-op action game. They do say that you can play it solo with just AI counterparts. You don't have to team up with 2 other people or strangers if you don't want to. They also did say that the gameplay loop seemingly is going to be PvE. So there's not going to be like people are going to ruin your day, they're going to drop in, steal your loot, all that kind of thing, which I do think games like Helldivers and Arc Raiders have benefited from recently. It's like, actually, it doesn't need to be competitive at all. It can very much be a world where you jump into, you spend your time with it, you get your loot, you do a bit of grind, you fight some machines, and the fun is almost in the combat. And if the AI is quite good, this could end up being actually quite an interesting single-player game where you could probably get a fun Horizon story out of it and maybe enjoy it for what it is and then just dabble in the co-op online stuff, but not necessarily needing to. It's definitely something I think Guerrilla are going to have to come to terms with. This could have been something that was maybe so far gone. PlayStation looked at when they did all the culls last year, if you remember, and they shut down Blue Point Studios, they shut down Sony Bend. Naughty Dog didn't even put out The Last of Us. Is Horizon just that one where, quite honestly, it's probably Sony's only franchise that does appeal to kids? God of War's 18 rated, The Last of Us at 18 rated. Like,
there is that,
yeah. And as a brand who's looking to a younger audience to keep your platform alive and thriving, I think it's no surprise they're putting all the money onto Horizon for seeing it through.
I'd still just think with the presentation of the game, the way like the characters are characterized, the way they kind of handle themselves, like it is straight out of Fortnite. I feel like you could have been more creative and still appeal to a younger audience with it. I'm just sick of seeing these games look and be presented in this way. Everything it's not just the art style, it's the expressions of the characters, the way they kind of dance around. I'm just like, ugh.
It's not grounded, is it?
No, it's like it doesn't have to be hyper realistic to appeal to kids. But it feels like what they've done is they've done market research. What's our core demographic? What games are they playing? What the art style use? Slap it on. That feels about the level of thought involved. It's everything. It's from when you see like characters interact with a chest, the way it animates.
Well, loads of swirls go around it. It shakes about and then it bursts open into a cloud of glitter.
Yeah,
just to go like he's a bulb grid. Like
so, and to be honest, it does put me off giving the game a try.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's interesting. Do you think this is going to be free to play, or are they going to put it around the £40 mark like they did with Helldivers?
I think it'll be like Helldivers around the 40
£30 was it $29.99? Can't remember. Either way, it was a lot cheaper than a mainline game. Yeah. But
I don't think Sony want to put their games as a service titles free to play.
No, I don't think so as well. Especially a franchise that has sold millions for them. It's one of the biggest ones. Yeah. But yeah, in summary, I do think Horizon Hunters is a much better name. Ditch the Gathering. Like, hopefully they've got time to maybe take the feedback on board and say, like, yeah, Horizon Hunters, fine. Horizon Hunters Gathering. It's almost like there's two plurals, Hunters and Gathering. It's suggesting like there's two. You're doing two things. You're hunting and you're gathering.
It makes sense.
It does in the world.
The gathering is where all the hunters are going. That's what they call it, the gathering of the hunters. But yeah, I don't know. It
doesn't flow right for me. And I've got to imagine on their big whiteboard of all the scribbles and ideas, they had so much more. Like, they've got robot dinosaurs in this game. You tell me they couldn't come up with something a little bit more creative than Hunters Gathering.
It's a play on the word, hunter-gatherer, something from like...
Yeah.
I get where they're going for. It's just nothing about this game's currently working for me.
Well, hopefully the playtests come out, and maybe I'll get some hands on. Maybe some folks now at Discord will get hands on. And I would like it to do well. I do think PlayStation, aside from Helldivers, they do need another big hit that just like allows them to like churn some money over, because it takes so long to get a single-player game out. They need some cash in the coffers from a persistent live service game.
I'm actually going to go the other way. I don't want it to do well because I might give them ideas of keep pushing these sort of games.
Well, cards on the table then. Does Horizon Hunters Gathering do better or worse than Horizon Steel Frontiers?
Ooh. I don't know.
Because even though we give Steel Frontiers shit for looking like a mobile game, at the moment I'm leaning more towards preferring that because it looked like a Horizon game.
I think this does better.
Okay. It is launching on PC at the same time as well, so maybe that PC audience will actually pick it up and do quite well. But yeah, it's interesting. We live in a world where we're getting kind of two games, but as you said, not a third entry. But yeah, just pulling up the trailer for Steel Frontiers, it looks like Horizon, just with a MMO skin over it, which I feel like at this moment in time, it appeals to me more because my brain looks at it and goes, oh yeah, it's more Horizon.
Imagine if this game looked like Horizon. We'd be having a very different conversation.
I think we would, and I do think, like, whether it's just old man shouts at cloud or not, I do think the market is just saturated on that art style, and I think that is the biggest thing I can't quite get over.
But they know this. They know who it targets, so they know
It's
people
intentional.
like myself are not going to vibe with it at all, and we're just going to give this one a wide berth. The fact that it's also a co-op online games as a service thing already pushes me back. If it looked like Horizon, that might be one of the moments where I kind of go, oh, maybe I should give this a go. Because it looks like Fortnite and very much going. I don't really like the sound of the game that much. I don't like the fact it's got roguelike elements. I don't like it. The online stuff. I hate the way it looks and presented. It's like, I'm out.
Don't we sound just like jaded old men?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. But time will tell. Time will tell. Again, if you enjoy the Horizon franchise, just go back and play Horizon New Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West. Did you ever get around to playing the DLC for Forbidden West? Something Shores? Was it Sundering Shores?
Burning Shores.
Burning Shores. Cool name again.
Way too long. Yeah, it came out way too long after that. I finished the game.
Horizon Burning
Shores.
And
I've never went back to it, so I missed the boat.
I think that's why I kind of do hold it against it. Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, Horizon Burning Shores, Horizon Call of the Mountain. They are better at naming things than Hunter's Gathering. It just seems like the worst of all 5 names. What was even the DLC for the first game? I'm sure was like Frozen Wilds, was it as well? I think for the original game.
Yeah.
So it's just like you can do this, guys. Just get back in an office, get that whiteboard out again, rub it out, and just rethink for public life. They won't. I think they're committed to the art style. They're committed to the name.
Maybe they're keeping the names for games that I actually care about.
Maybe Horizon 3, Shadow in Flame.
I did find the statement reading between the lines is like trying to justify them making a multiplayer game. Oh, it's always been in our DNA. This is what we've always wanted to make. That's how it came off to me. It's probably not what he intended, but that's how it came off to me.
Yeah. Still Frontiers. Sounds cool as shit. Moving on though from PlayStation, we did have a Nintendo Direct showcase this week. It was a partner showcase. It did stealth drop on us. It kind of out of nowhere all of a sudden was like, oh, there's a half an hour Nintendo Direct dropping now, and it was like, oh shit, and it was like 2 p.m. in the afternoon on a Thursday, I think. So couldn't even scramble to kind of watch it myself in between work. But it was a partner showcase. They showed off quite a lot of games. Some we knew about, some we didn't know about. How do you want to approach this, Richie? Do you want to go through it chronologically, or would you like to jump around and just pick and choose?
We'll go through fairly chronologically from the Nintendo Life article. Obviously, we'll just skip past games that we have basically zero interest in.
Yeah, absolutely.
To save people time, as it's going, I don't really care about that game.
I don't care. Like Horizon. Horizon. We're so cruel. But
let us know in the comments if we should have paid more attention to any particular game.
Yes, I was going to say the first one up was Orbitals, which is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. We've seen this one before. It's the split fiction looking one, but in that beautiful anime art style.
Yeah, it looks like a 90s anime art style rather than like a modern art style, which I think looks stunning.
Yeah, it's definitely got that kind of like Bert Raccoon.
It has the proper hand-drawn aesthetic.
I like it. Did they give any deals? I'm going to admit my Chrome browser's absolutely froze on me now, so I can't see anything. I can't read anything. I'm just looking at a still image of the Orbitals trailer.
Orbital's Let's Players team up and brave the deadly storm wall and the perils beyond to save their home. Designed for asymmetric two-player co-op in either local split scene or online with game share or matchmaking with friend, Orbitals rewards smart teamwork and clear communication. It's basically split fiction with a different story, which split fiction is awesome. Game share works between the Switch 2 and the original Switch as well.
Yeah, they did announce game share with it. I'm back now.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's good for the Switch. I think the Switch lends itself to that art style anyway. What I appreciated with the trailer is, again, similar to Split Fiction, it looks like the level design is going to mix it up from kind of like area to area. And that's what I think you especially praised Split Fiction for at the end. It's the final kind of third. It just every level just keeps getting different. Just keeps getting different.
Every level is unique, and the mechanics are always kept interesting because so the core mechanics are there all the way through in Split Fiction, but every level has its own gimmicks that you kind of have to build around as you play through the level.
Mm-hmm. I think not only the art style, I actually think the sound design, if it's got that kind of 80s Saturday morning cartoon adventure vibe, that could really work. Don't think it quite needs any hardcore guitar in there, like the Power Rangers theme or anything like that. But that's just that kind of fun, whimsical, like we're going on an adventure.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You know what I actually learned this week is the guy who did the Power Rangers theme was also the guy who did the X-Men cartoon theme. So that guy can shred.
Yeah, I can see that actually.
Yeah, and then I also learned how that is he was born on he's got the same he shared the same birthday as me, which was like, sweet.
Nice.
I'll remember that as a
Should I teach you how to play them both on guitar?
Oh, if only.
There's a live stream right there.
Well, it'll be a long one. But yeah, Orbitals looks great. Nice to kickstart the show on it. We've got a bit more detail on that one, which is always good to see as part of it. It still didn't give a date on it though, did they? Just said summer 2026, which is a bit of a shame. I think people wanted a little bit more coming out of that one. They showed off a few of the little games in between. I'm not really going to cover them. I'm not that bothered. Paranormasight, The Mermaid's Curse looked Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters, which is just kind of like a football, like a soccer combat game.
Anime.
Yeah, didn't know anything. Tokyo Scramble showed off, which was just like a really inferior Resident Evil where you're getting chased. Actually, no, it's more Dino Crisis than Resident Evil because it does have dinosaurs in it. Didn't look terrible, but you just kind of
Dino
watch
problem
it.
instead of Crisis.
It's your dino problem. Again, didn't look bad. It just looked like it was a bit needed more polish or more fun. It's some of the gameplay mechanics reminded me a little bit of the Golem game.
It's a $30 game, so it is what you pay for.
Yeah, like just stuff in the world like kind of just clips through each other quite a lot, and the environments don't look quite polished or finished off. The textures are definitely lacking, and I think in a world where a lot of things are pushing like Unreal Engine now, I think again it could be the development team's like first effort. So like I guess
it's
credit
$30. It's you get what you pay for. I think with this,
sort of like artifacting on like the edge of.
It might turn out to be a cult classic if it's got like a really solid story.
Tokyo Scramble's an odd name though as well. Don't think it kind of suits its style, like dinosaurs and stealth. Like Tokyo Scramble, it makes me feel like it's more you're making omelets in Japan.
There's a funny bit in the trailer where there's a dinosaur trying to run up the wrong way of an escalator.
That's what I mean by like, is that intentional or is that like glitchy in there?
I think that's intentional because it's in the trailer.
Yeah. Also in 2026, we've got the update that we're getting Valheim. You and Rob played this on the channel a few years back, I believe. Become one of Odin's chosen warriors. Yeah, it's again, it is just one of them survival games, isn't it? Drop into a world.
Yeah. Build your base.
Go survive.
Kill some stuff. The more adventurous you get, the more better stuff you get, which then you can develop your base, improve your weapons and armor, so you can go further and further, and get killed a lot.
How far did you and Rob get in the first look? Did you actually build anything, or did you just go kill some things?
Oh, we definitely built a little settlement. Basic settlement. Nothing complex. I think we definitely fought the first boss.
Right.
I can't remember if we beat him. But yeah, it was fun though.
Was it a lockdown game? Or like just on the end of lockdown? I feel like everyone was still just like in the houses playing things. And that's why it got like this swell of just like energy behind it, because it was like, it's new out. It's a survival game. People like survival games.
I think it was free. It might have been free to play on like PC or cost basically nothing. So I just took off because survival games are just popular anyway. We played it on Xbox Game Pass. Where was that live stream?
Many moons ago. Yeah, graphically, definitely not the sharpest tool.
2 years ago.
Is that it? I would have guessed longer.
Yeah, we played 2 years ago.
Huh. Oh, well, I would have guessed longer. But of course, now I guess you're getting the best version of it because it's had 2 years worth of patches and updates. So, always good to see.
No, we didn't beat the first boss. Spoilers,
the first boss. Hollow Knight Silksong. Oh, sorry, not Hollow Knight Silksong. The original Hollow Knight, I should say, is getting a Switch 2 edition that's out now. So surprise, surprise. Dig back into that one. Where are you sitting on these Switch 2 editions? I feel like we're seeing a lot of them. And is this Nintendo being lazy? They spent all of Switch generation porting Wii U games over. Are we in for a world where just every Switch game is going to get a Switch 2 version now? Unfortunately.
Yes, probably. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because if the Switch is quite an underpowered console, a Switch 2 version definitely does boost things a bit. It's like jumping from a PS3 to a PS5 almost. There's a definite step up in quality that you can get out of the console. So, yeah, I'm not against it. And you don't have to buy it. You can buy the original Switch version.
Yeah.
So both are still available to you, so I don't see it being an issue.
I do feel you get mixed results with some of these. Some of them are just kind of like visual updates or frame rate updates, and then
It
other
tends to
ones...
be a frame rate. Let's get it running at a faster frame rate and a
Yeah.
better resolution. That tends to be what they mainly focus on.
Which you would hope the game would do that anyway, right? With just by playing on the new hardware.
Yeah, but they've realised you can charge more money for it.
That's true.
Which is something from my PC gamer background. Bullshit. Like, if I have better hardware, the game runs better. Full stop. That's just
you would hope
how
so.
it is, but yeah.
eFootball Kickoff is coming. This is, of course, Konami's rebranding of Pro Evolution Soccer. The fact that it's called Kickoff in my brain suggests this is like the lesser Switch version. You know, like I used to get the PlayStation versions and PSP versions where it was like, it was basically the same game every single year. They just patched in the skins and the rosters. And they actually didn't do anything with the game graphically or gameplay-wise because it's just like, it's the lowest common denominator. Looking at the trailer, it doesn't look as good as I think it looks on PS5 and Xbox.
I don't know. I'd have to relook at the trailers, but I don't think it looks terrible for eFootball, considering that since they got rid of the Pro Evo moniker, it has dropped in quality visually.
I mean, even just in sales, right? I'm guessing their budget's nowhere near what it used to be as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and I think it's probably free, like the main eFootball one is. So you know what? If you want a sports game on the move on your Switch, I played FC 25. Remember, I bought it in a sale at the back end last year, and it ran like shit. So why not check another one out?
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Adventures of Elliot the Millennium Tales, which we've seen before. It's got a date of June 18th, later this summer. This is the one that pretty much it's from the team that did Octopath Traveler. I hate the name Adventures of Elliot. I think we said at the time on the first read, just
I still hate it.
Just call it
the Millennium Tales.
Millennium Tales, and it would be such a cooler name. And I guess you're the one who's rounding out your adventures in Octopath Traveler Zero right now. Yeah. This is just the same thing, but with a new story. Like, they're so good at doing this. Project Triangle.
It's a different game. So Octopath is your classic turn-based JRPG. This is more of an action-focused. So I'd almost say it's like a Legend of Zelda meets Octopath kind of vibe.
Looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. I'm playing this game. I want to play this game.
Why is it called The Adventures of Elliot?
I don't know. I don't care.
Is it just Japanese translation, or is it just like it's what they do?
It probably sounds better in Japanese because Elliot. Oh, he's just what Elliot? That's just a standard issue name. Over in Japan, it might just be a case of that's a cool
It just looks really good, yeah.
A cool sounding name. So, yeah, I don't know. There's
something really cute about just that kind of like pixelated art style, isn't it? Like 2.5D HD, where you've got like that added depth. But yeah, what does it mean by an action one then? Does it mean just the combat's like button mashing as opposed to taking turns?
Yeah,
I can't really say I've played one.
It's live action. It's so you are fighting live instead of just taking turns through the menus.
Would you say that's more my street than the Octopath approach?
Yeah, probably.
Interesting. What they do, well, I do quite like the concept as well, is because it's the Millennium Tales. Is each part of the story takes place through time, so it seems like it's in this one open area world, and as the story progresses, it goes through basically like Industrial Revolution, medieval. It just like goes through time. And I'd be curious to see like where the story ends. Like, are you going to end up in the future, like Civilization, where just like there's like nuclear power and stuff and rockets everywhere, or does it kind of cap out in and around like high fantasy world instead? But yeah, the Millennium Tales coming this summer.
Comes out a couple of weeks after 007 First Light, so hopefully you have time to get through 007 First Light before this. Definitely
a palette switch in art style, going from Bond over to this one, but it just looks fun. I think I don't say I have a soft spot, but sometimes, you know, like when I absolutely fell in love with Sea of Stars, I've got that vibe from it as well. Just obviously action, and I'm thinking maybe it's about time I give one of them a go, even if it is got a stupid name.
Yeah.
What's a worse name? The Adventures of Elliot, Project
Triangle Strategy,
or Horizon Hunter's Gathering?
I think Hunter's Gathering is better than The Adventures of Elliot.
The Adventures of Elliot.
But what makes it worse is it's The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales. Not The Millennium Tales, The Adventures of Elliot.
Maybe Elliot's more important than
it reads as if The Adventures of Elliot is the name of the franchise, not the name of the game.
You do laugh sometimes. We got a Super Bomberman collection announced, which includes all Bombermans, Super Bomberman 4, 5, etc.
Cool.
I don't really have any experience of Bomberman outside of that one that we got on Stadia. It was fun, and I'm sure they've had many iterations over the years, which it's nice to see them put together in a collection. I like Bomberman as a mascot. I think he's been around for that long. I remember him as a kid. I remember him growing up. But I could not tell you, looking at this trailer, the difference between each game. They just kind of look like the same thing. A bit like Pac-Man. It's like it's the same thing, just repackaged every 10 years.
There will be subtle differences, but yeah, this is a repackaging, so cool.
What the Stadia one called? It was Super Bomberman. It was like a battle royale, wasn't it? Bomberman.
It was a battle royale, which was a cool take on it, to be honest.
Was
that Stadia exclusive as well?
I think it was, yeah. And then at the time, where you went deep on, was it the Tetris 64 or something as well?
Yeah, Tetris 99.
99, yeah, that was it. It wasn't 64, yeah. But yeah, Bomberman keeps ticking over.
That was when the Switch first came out. That.
Yeah, in a way, as a character, it kind of irks me a little bit that Bomberman hasn't had he might have done, like a 2D side scroller. Like he drops bombs everywhere, so he's got an arsenal of weapons. I feel like he would fit perfectly into Nintendo's world of give him just some kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog, Green Hill Zone kind of map, give him some generic enemies, and let him just chuck bombs at them and go left to right and finish his stage.
Feeling? Something similar to Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Yeah.
Where they're like little diorama levels to like work your way around.
Yeah.
Because Bomberman, I don't think he can jump. He can walk around. He's got bombs. He's got quite a limited move set. Where that's Captain Toad. You're just wandering around the level to solve the puzzles.
Yeah.
But using bombs.
Yeah. I completely agree. I just think he just seems like almost like a weird mascot for Konami in a way. But then again, Konami haven't really been making games until they've suddenly upped their ante with Metal Gear Delta, did they? They hadn't done anything between then and now. They all went full in on pachinko machines, didn't they? So who knows? Next up, we got an update for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming to the Switch also in June. So 3rd of June, it lands that one. How does this tease? Do we think that the third entry in the trilogy is getting any closer now? With the Switch one being wrapped up and done?
I've seen rumours that the third entry isn't going to be time locked to PlayStation.
I've seen that as well, yes. Square Enix in a few earnings calls said they wanted to go multi-platform about a year or so ago.
Yeah, that's where I was. I was trying to remember where I saw it.
Whether they've got pre-arranging contracts that they can't get out of is another matter, but
yeah, I think we're getting close to being ready. I think either Summer Games Fest or Game Awards this year, it'll be time to announce it.
Yeah, definitely on the play.
Summer Games Fest, I think, will be a good place.
Yeah, even though it won't be an exclusive.
Nightlife for Summer Games Fest. Yeah,
it's definitely going to be.
That's why I think a Keighley thing.
Yeah,
would be a good place to announce it, especially if they go multi-platform. If they go multi-platform right at the gate, get out a Keighley thing, and it's a show up now closer.
Absolutely. I'm going to be in for a wild ride when this trilogy's out and I finally play it. When I get the complete collection, whatever it's going to be called. What a ride! But yeah, would you be tempted to go back and play it again on Switch, or do you think you just waiting for the third part now?
If I was to replay it, I'd replay it on PlayStation because I don't own the Switch 2, and I actually don't own Rebirth. Nat bought it. I played it with her watching, and then she sold it. She traded it in.
Never sell your games, folks. Never sell your games.
We'll buy it. Of course, it's one of them. They're always on the sale, so it's like we trade it in while we get money back, and then we'll just buy it again later.
Next up, we pivoted to Pragmata, which again doesn't got a date, 24th of April 2026. From Capcom this time. Interesting one with this. This game, I don't know about you, just doesn't interest me at all. It's kind of just looks like Death Stranding, but with a little girl attached to your back instead of a baby now.
I've always thought it looked intriguing, but I feel like there's other things I've been playing this year, so my interest has waned.
I also feel like I've been teased for this game for about 5-6 years. I think it was announced in like 2019 or 2020.
Yeah, it's too long in the tooth.
You know what I can't get over? The creepy little girl. Like she doesn't look like terrible, like graphically or anything. I just think when you see the gameplay and she's just on your back, it's like, what am I looking at here? What is this? Like, is it just too
She's
crazy
kind of like
Japanese?
a robot or something, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's like an android and she's got powers and abilities. So basically, they said the combat is you have kind of like the basic third-person shooter mechanics combat, but you can use her as like almost like a pause menu for specials. So similar to Final Fantasy, I'm not sure which one, but she basically freezes time as you select specials from a different like a sub menu.
I think 7 does that. I think does 16 do that a bit?
No idea. But yeah, and as she goes, she can pick up like little tropes which will boost like your hit point multipliers and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's probably fun to play. I just, when I look at it, it just looks weird, and not in a good way for me. Like one headshot and she's down. I don't know. I think it's just Capcom. I'd rather Capcom did Dino Crisis, but instead they're doing this. So hope you know what, credit where credit's due. I shouldn't lament them too much because they're doing a new thing. It's a new franchise, a new IP. They've tried it.
That's what I'll give them credit for. It's I can see almost like Dead Space like vibes to it at some points.
Yeah, but I don't think it's leaning that much into horror. There's definitely a bit more.
Not so much horror. I don't know. It just some of the action elements of it feel like Dead Spacey, but yeah,
it is in space.
I think it's going. I feel like it's going to find us like an audience.
Yeah, I hope it does. I do hope it does well. But yeah, just less creepy kids on your back. Moving on, Richie, through the showcase, we got trailer for Turok Origins, which is a new entry coming fall 2026. This is the kind of the dinosaur game that I'm all about. Did you play Turok back on the N64 days? I feel like you had it.
Turok was awesome back in the N64 days. I feel like it lost its identity though. Like Turok for me was I feel like Turok needs to be a first-person shooter where this seems to be third or first, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It looks okay.
The reason I have confidence in this one is the reins have been handed over to Saber Interactive, and this is running on the same engine as Space Marine 2. And because it's third person, it kind of gives me vibes that it just looks like Space Marine, but with dinosaurs. And Space Marine was bloody fun with orcs, so swap them out for some dinos.
You know what I think's putting me off is the co-op elements of this game, where you can play the game solo or as a team online. It feels like, I think Turok, the original games, you felt quite isolated. I think that was part of like the atmosphere of the games.
I don't remember the dinosaurs having like guns and cannons on the back. Is that like the later games? Did it get away from dinosaurs into like mutations?
They always had a bit. Yeah, there was always a bit of that, even from the first game.
I remember playing it and being so scared of the raptors when they like chased you.
Yeah,
and I think it was partially because the controls were probably so clunky to like get away and where they could get you. But similar to Dino Crisis, graphics probably terrible by today's standards.
First 3D games you've ever played.
Yeah, when it's hunting you down, running at you. Kyoto Xanadu was up next, announced. No idea what this is. Is that not to be confused, Xanadu with the ELO #1 performed by Olivia Newton-John? That's the only thing I know about the word Xanadu. Digimon
Looks like
Storytime Strange. You got another trailer and a date for 10th of July. Digital Monsters. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink got a trailer for Endless Ragnarok. That's coming 9th of July. Feely boot to that one. We got another trailer for Monster Hunter Stories 3, which is, again, it's almost like the anime spin-off of Monster Hunter that was exclusive to the Switch. That's coming the 13th of March.
Nothing else worth mentioning, really. There was a sizzle reel that Scott Pilgrim X, Another Eden Begins, Reanimal, WWE 2K26, Star Trek Voyager, Across the Unknown, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, PGA 2, which I think will do awesome, actually. That game will be awesome on Switch 2. PGA 2 and 2K25, Concept Begins, Goat Simulator 3, Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun, Tales of Arise, Beyond the Dawn Edition. Tales of Arise, awesome game.
Yeah.
Surprised that was just in the sizzle reel, actually.
Well, I think this is why the kind of whole showcase got summarized up with it being a partner showcase. Everyone, I think, showed up for the Nintendo content, and it ended up just being like kind of stuff that we already knew about, we could play elsewhere, and some stuff didn't even get a date. But what I do think it highlights, and what I'm really happy with, is the parity that Nintendo Switch 2 has now got with like the other two consoles. Like, there's so many titles now where they're not delayed by several years. They're not massively inferior. They're pretty much either day and date or shortly afterwards. You're getting a version of, by all means, a AAA game that you can now play on any console you want.
We're getting to a point where if you like Nintendo to be your primary platform, you don't necessarily need a secondary platform apart from exclusives. Yeah.
Which is bad for Xbox, right?
Yeah,
if you want your Nintendo exclusives, you get your Switch. If you like your PlayStation exclusives, you get your PS5. If you like your Xbox exclusive, you get the other two.
PS5.
You get the other two, or PC. So, who knows? That's a whole different conversation. But yeah, a little bit of a scissor reel. Again, just a good highlight that the Switch, outside of exclusives, does have a lot of titles coming to it later on this year. We then moved into the kind of, I guess we knew they were coming, but glad to hear them confirmed block, where we got some big AAA titles just to really like kind of pad out what's coming up next. They start off with Resident Evil Requiem. Don't really need to go into that one. Comes out in a few weeks' time. Early previews, though, are stating that it runs fantastically on the Switch at 60 frames per second, which has surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Because I think everyone expects it to run like that on Xbox and PS5, and then the Switch version will run at 30.
Is that handheld or dock, though?
I don't recall, but I've listened to a few Nintendo podcasts in the last couple of days, and they've not explicitly said, but the way they're describing it is it's like blowing their mind how it's working. So either way, it sounds better than you would expect. Because remember, previous Resident Evil ones, Richie, they were cloud-based. And oh, actually, if I'm right in remembering, not only did we get Requiem, am I right in thinking 7 and Village are also coming out like the same week, or the same day, in fact? I feel like we critiqued them and said, like, why would you bring them all out on the same day?
Yeah, there was something weird about the date. I can't remember what it was like.
So if you want Resident Evil, they're all coming out at the same time, basically. Fill your Switch boots. We then got a Switch 2 announcement coming 24th of February, so just a few short weeks ago. Away Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. You finished the show now, I presume, Season 2?
Yeah, finished it.
Do we think this is just perfect timing for Switch?
Yeah, I think it's a good get, really. Finished the show, Fallout in people's minds. Oh, it's coming to Switch 2. It's a shame it's not a couple of weeks earlier.
Yeah, kind of capture that zeitgeist.
Because as I said, I've played a bit of Fallout 4 this week because I was just killing a bit of time before I go back to Octopath.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't own it, I owned the Switch 2, I potentially would have bought it.
Yeah.
But by the time this comes out, now that'll be out my system.
For me, this is absolute marketing 101 of, obviously, yes, you've missed the boat with the TV show. However, repackage it, put it on a new platform and sell it for full price. I'm sure this is like 45, 50 quid. So for a game that's how old now? Was it 2015, 2016 Fallout 4?
2015 according to the copyright in the box.
So you're talking over a decade old game, and you're able to repackage it, put it on a new platform, and people who've never experienced it before, they'll drop the money on it. Happy days. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, also announced from Bethesda, coming to Switch 2. So having just got the Platinum Trophy for this one, great to see it moving over to other platforms. I think it's one of the best games we've had in the last 10 years. Does something a little bit different. Absolutely terrific. Best Indiana Jones story since The Last Crusade. Again, running on Switch. And once again, another Microsoft game running on the Switch. Back to our little joke about where would you want to play your Xbox games. Play them on the Switch. Go play Fallout. Go play Indiana Jones. Absolutely. I'd be curious to know how this one runs. Not that it's, I don't think the most graphical intense, but it's a looker.
If it can handle Resident Evil, I think it can handle Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Looks great. And when I did see the trailer, I was like, oh, do I want to play it? I could see Indiana Jones. This is going to be one of those games where when it's on sale on the Switch 2 in like 3-4 years' time for like 14 quid or something, I'll get that itch and I'll be like, oh, you know what? I could play it again portable. Just like something a little bit, like just sometimes the form factor.
And then you remember you own the PlayStation Portal.
Yeah, but there's that little itch to play it on something different, which I think does get you. For example, you played Oblivion Remaster last year. That also got confirmed for the Switch 2. Bethesda seemingly doubling all that. Bethesda clearly got the hands on a Switch dev kit at some point in the last year. And they went, you know what, port everything. My next question, I guess, is you obviously aren't going to buy it again because you bought it specifically on PlayStation. Yes. Starfield, we got to be ready for a port of Starfield to PS5 and Xbox and Switch, right?
The key, anytime Bethesda do anything, there's always followed by rumors of Starfield. It's coming. It's more of when.
I think Starfield might do better on PlayStation for some reason. There's this little voice in my head that's saying...
Isn't the DLC meant to be coming up? Or version 2.0?
Yeah.
I think the PS5 launch is planned to coincide with that.
Yeah, there's rumours of like a big, like... Basically, they haven't said anything since the last update, so everyone's expecting for 2026, they're going to go hard on like, right, here's your, as you said, 2.0, and also the ports. But yeah, there's a little voice in my head that just thinks Starfield is a better fit for PlayStation. I don't know why. It just has that vibe. Like, I'm a huge PlayStation fan. I don't know. I did enjoy Starfield, but then it did bug me in a lot of ways. But yeah, when I thought of Starfield and what brought me on board initially, I think there was something about it that appealed to me. And all I can think of is I'm not a Bethesda fan. So what was it? And all I can think is it does align maybe more with PlayStation's like kind of spacey themes and values a little bit more. But who knows?
Sci-fi is cool.
Yeah. Oh, sci-fi is cool. And that was it. That's all they said. They had Todd Howard there kind of like wrapping things up. And yeah, that was your partner showcase direct. So we saw nothing from Nintendo. It was all very much just a kind of spread of everything. And I'm just going to have a look at a poll on Nintendo Life right now to see what was the most... they did a poll. What were your favourite announcements from the Nintendo Direct out of 5,000 plus people, so a bigger vote than the PlayStation poll. They've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at 10%.
Indiana Jones' The Great Circle at 8%.
The Millennium Tales, Avengers of Elliot, and at 7%. That's your, and
so
then
Orbitals and Pragmata.
And Requiem on
6%.
Requiem only 6%. That's a surprise.
Yeah. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion 6%. But it's spread quite a lot, I think, between these titles. It's probably not a huge number of votes in it. And then it does drop off a bit. Like Fallout 4 is 4%.
Yeah.
Nothing else touches Super Bomberman 5%.
Well, he's been around for a while. Like I said, he's got a lot of friends.
I feel like there's too many games in the poll, to be honest.
Yeah, a little bit. Waters down the clarity of the vote a little bit. But yeah, Nintendo Showcase, all wrapped up and done. I think the chamber is now definitely stacked for a Nintendo proper showcase, maybe in the springtime. Yeah. We've had our Xbox Direct, Developer Direct. We've had our Nintendo one. The rumor of the PlayStation State of Play coming February is still on everybody's lips. Maybe we'll see a bit more. Again, interesting that there was Showcase Horizon, even though there's rumored to be a State of Play, which you would think they would show it off there. Or are they separating it for a very good reason? Is there something else that they want to take the main kind of tentpole marketing of that? But who knows? Moving on to our third story of the week. Obsidian says 2 of its 2025 titles didn't meet sales targets and vows to learn from it in the future. This was, of course, the same Obsidian that released 3 games last year, albeit the smaller effort in terms of Grounded 2, Avowed at the start of the year, and then the Outer Worlds near the end of the year, delivering AAA experiences to people on Game Pass, Xbox, and PlayStation as well, because they did come out on other platforms. Although, sorry, Outer Worlds 2 did. Avowed, came out on PS5 yet? Or is it imminent?
Avowed.
I feel like it's imminent.
It's imminent.
It's the year anniversary edition, right?
17th of Feb.
That's literally imminent, like next week.
Yeah.
But yes, on a piece over at Bloomberg, Jason Schreier was discussing Obsidian's 2025 and how a packed release schedule and landed with its players. And their studio head, Fergus Urquhart, said, they're not disasters. I'm not going to say this was a kick in the teeth. It was more like, that sucks. What are we learning? He then went on to say that Xbox hopes to find riskier projects and values achievement besides strong sales, even if it means accepting that maybe where we were going to be from a profitability standpoint is going to be 30%. Our job, all of us here, is to make games that people want to play and buy. If we continue to do that, then we'll have a solid business. Some point during the interview process, they did also mention that there is no plans to continue the my brain's frozen.
The Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds series. There's not going to be a third entry, but Avowed will get a sequel. I knew it was one or the other. I just couldn't remember how it landed. Does that surprise you? Is the Outer Worlds kind of like everyone said the sequel was better, but then is that kind of like the story's been told now? And
I don't know. I feel like it's probably doing it disservice, but I always looked at both Avowed and The Outer Worlds 2 has kind of been budget Bethesda games. Like
Mm-hmm.
Avowed is a budget Elder Scrolls, Outer Worlds 2 is a
Yeah.
budget Starfield. They're just like, there's something about them where they're both very good games and the game that people wanted. They wanted Starfield, they wanted the next Elder Scrolls. So I think it's probably something in there that somehow, unfortunately, it's been unfairly got that unfair tag against it. Because
Yeah.
I'm still interested in like buying Avowed on PlayStation.
Yeah. I think, again, like, solid games. I saw a lot of people this week saying, like, are they just AA, though? They're not AAA? Like, what? How do we define it? But No Outer Worlds 3.
I think the smaller AAA.
Yeah.
But I haven't played the first Outer Worlds. So that's one of the reasons why the second I haven't really spent much time thinking about. Because if I wanted to, I'd rather play the first one first.
Yeah. Microsoft recently denied such a figure for profit targets, but then the interview seemingly reports that, well, actually there is a target that they need to hit, and they clearly didn't meet it, but they continue to make more games. So I think the good thing with Obsidian is Grounded 2 makes them a lot of money, even though it seemingly is their smaller title. It seems to be their most successful, which is the ultimate irony in game development, right? The one you put the least effort into and have the smaller team on.
It's the one that least Obsidian of the titles. That's the one that's been successful.
It's a cool concept, that's why. But yeah, I enjoyed what I played of Avowed. The Outer Worlds 2 and 1 does actually appeal to me, but like yourself, I never played number 1 at the time.
Never got around to it.
It just never got around to it, yeah. It's one of those things that if I just had more time, absolutely.
You know what? I reckon a PlayStation Plus release of The Outer Worlds 2 would get a lot more players playing.
Interesting
Or do it to The Outer Worlds 1. Get that in people's hands.
I think
I
have it. I think I have it on PlayStation Plus at some point. But I think this thing that's great for Obsidian is, all things said and done, the speed in which they've been able to turn this around has meant that actually they could probably get on and crank out another project before another studio costs twice as much to get a game out does. So I think, yes, they might not have done sales figures, but this goes back to, I think, what we've said for years now about Game Pass. Is like, it's hard to critique and judge when the Game Pass model skews the numbers so much. Like, did it sell that many? Maybe not. But is it getting players on Game Pass? Probably. Is Avowed on PS5 going to turn more profit than it ever did on Xbox because you're paying it per box unit? So they're getting like £60, £70 or whatever it ends up being, £50, I think, straight up front. Same with, like I've said before, I'm going to go buy South of Midnight when it comes out. Yeah. So they're getting more money from me. You went and bought Oblivion Remastered, so they're getting more money for you. Whereas people over here just dossing around on Game Pass, you're really only getting your monthly sub out of them, spread out across 100 titles. So interesting metrics, but that's the path that they've chose to take.
I'm sure like the metrics for Game Pass are adjusted to have like a sales equivalent. So they won't go on, probably when it comes to Game Pass figures, they'll go on users played for over 10 hours or something, and consider that a sale or something like that. Because they'll have to include them in the figures somehow.
Yeah, I'd love the day that we finally get like a Microsoft leak that gives us the details of Game Pass, like from the
just
day
give me
launch.
That equation.
Yeah, just like let me see the metrics, so we can finally sit back and put it to bed of like, is not even if it's profitable, just to see where the numbers lie.
See how these numbers add up.
Yeah.
How do they actually make money? What share? How do they say if a game comes out of Game Pass? How many players is it considered to be a success, and how does that equate to money for that studio?
Yeah, like even I'm just so morbidly curious. Like, what did the first year of Call of Duty do? We know Call of Duty is the best seller. Like when it went on Game Pass, did they see a massive spike? Did they see a drop off? How many people stayed for the next couple of months afterwards? Like, did it retain players?
It might be a monthly pot where this is all the money that comes from Game Pass. Then they just take up minutes played in every single game, split it by who's played it, and go, there's your money.
Yeah,
it might be that simple.
Crazy stuff. Moving on, though, we've got 2 games released this week. We've got some reviews for them as well. So, starting off, Richie, Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined just came out. It's sitting at a Metacritic score of 83. This is the kind of whimsical, cartoonish retelling of it where they've kind of given it a little bit of polish. Reading from a few reviews, I'll pull one out that I recognise. The Sixth Axis, give it a 9 out of 10. They said Dragon Quest Reimagined is a very, very impressive remake. 26 years after the original's release, the modernised edition of the game is everything I want from an RPG, and I can imagine it lands very well with people who grew up partying with Kiefer and Marbell. It's held back from a perfect score by only the smallest of gripes around pacing. Do you want to pull out some? I think this game's one that definitely could be on your radar.
It's on my girlfriend's radar. It literally got delivered today.
Oh, right. It's not on her radar. It's literally in her hands.
Yeah, it's in the house. IGN, give it a 70. It's Metacritic's doing the thing where it doesn't load all the reviews. So
yeah, they might still be doing it over the weekend while it's just dropping.
Well, it says there's more reviews. It just stops actually loading them up, so I can't read them. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined delivers a better paced version of this 26-year-old classic while retaining its signature charm, but it also goes too far with some of its changes, sending down the experience for newer players at the expense of challenge and discovery aspects from the series.
Okay.
So their take seems to be, if you're a big fan of like the original version, you might be a bit disappointed.
Yeah, they like watered it down.
But if you haven't played it, you're probably not going to notice.
It does look crazy.
Also give it a 70. Overall, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is a stunning rebuild of the classic PlayStation role-playing game. The stop-start aspect of the short story structure is still there, but definitely improved. However, despite its technical brilliance, it feels like a little soulless at times. It doesn't hit you the way most Dragon Quest games do. So I can only recommend this to die-hard fans of the original game, who will no doubt love it.
You know, one thing I can't like, the art style's obviously like a definite choice. The main guy in the red with the sword, I can't help but see Matt Damon from Captain America: World Police.
The guy doesn't wear red, does he?
I'm not the main guy. He's wearing green. Sorry, the hero guy in the trailer who's got a red. He looks like a knight or something. I just see Matt Damon from Team America: World Police.
Matt Damon,
like that's all I can see. With he's got his massive chin, and it's like, oh dear. But the art style, wait till he comes up in the trailer and you'll see what I mean. Matt Damon. But yeah, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined.
Yeah, see. That's unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate. I'll get
Team America's awesome. I need to watch that.
It is. I'll get it up for our video listeners as well. You do give me a Matt Damon, Richie.
Matt Damon.
It works even better when you're cold, actually. It works quite well. But all jokes aside, glad to see another remake out. Second game we got of the week, Nioh 3, the third entry in the Nioh series of the... How are they? Are the Souls-like? Are the Soulsborne? Are the...
Yeah, I think they are.
Too tough for you and me. But ultimately, coming out with an 86 on Metacritic. Also, is this a PlayStation 5 PC exclusive? Console exclusive? I feel like the first two were timed PlayStation exclusives.
Might be, you know.
Which I feel like everyone's sleeping on. I didn't realise it was a PlayStation exclusive.
See if you find a decent review while I'm looking.
I shall indeed.
Yes, it is. Oh,
wow. So there you go. Interesting stuff.
At least according to Wikipedia.
God, it's so hard to find a reputable Metacritic review now. They're all just all over the place. Games Radar give it a 9 out of 10. They say a triumphant evolution of the series for existing fans and the best possible jumping on point, though far from an easy one, for new ones. Nioh 3 demands care, planning and patience and gives immense satisfaction in the form of a brutal but engrossing adventure in return. Trying to look for another one.
Game 8, if 92. If there's a company that knows its way around action RPGs, it's Team Ninja. Team Ninja, I can't say Ninja. But with Nioh 3, it feels like they have finally perfected their vision. This is the culmination of their endless quest to create the ultimate action RPG experience centered around a satisfying flow state, and they've achieved it in the bloodiest, most glorious way possible.
It seems like more of the same. I feel like, again, if you're into this type of game, you've been eating well for the last 10 years now between Dark Souls and Elden Ring and Warlong Fallen Dynasty and Sekiro.
The big outlets have even dropped it into a mixed review, which is usually around the 70s. So it's 74 positive and 6 mixed for PS5.
Yeah.
So pretty solid score and pretty much universally agreed.
Yeah, it does.
Similar to Dragon Quest, actually.
Yeah, everything I see from it just looks like what you expect. You get a cool loadout, you go fight a badass looking boss, the visuals are fun, The visuals actually look a lot more polished than the likes of Elden Ring anyway. I know it might be like a smaller scale project, but it looks well polished. And if you're into the Nioh games, it looks like it's kind of everything from the first two games rolled into a more complete package. And I guess it rounds out the trilogy now. So Team Ninja might move on because they've been doing it for a while. I
don't know if this is the highest rated game so far. They might double down.
It's very true. Very true. Not for us though.
No, not for me.
A couple of updates to round out the smaller stories for the week. Planet of Lana 2 has got a release date. The Children of the Leaf is coming next month, March 5th. So again, weird that this trailer and this release date was there, but it wasn't at the Nintendo one. It's like there's nothing, like it just randomly in the middle of a week goes, oh, actually, we're coming out less than a month.
This is coming to Switch, isn't it?
Yeah, Switch, Xbox. I think it's coming to Game Pass, actually, like the first game did. And I remember this distinctly because I played it while, not long after my wife gave birth to my daughter. I remember playing it at like 4 a.m, tripping on being tired and just playing this whimsical little beautiful art game. You and Rob played it, didn't you, on the channel? The first one,
I played it, but I didn't get very far. I think
it's not that big. I think it only took me 5 hours or something like that. But it's basically if you took Inside and Limbo, but actually didn't scare the shit out of you and made it a bit more naturalistic. It's still got like elements of like fear. There's like these little robot aliens that hunt you down, but it's just fun. And I think if it's just gonna be more of the same. It's like light, ethereal music, fun little puzzles to solve. Your little cat character, I think it's called Mui, I believe. Killing some robots. It's actually got quite decent Horizon vibes in it too.
Yeah, I can see it.
But yeah, I'll definitely.
That'd be a cool crossover. Planet of Lana Horizon.
Planet of Horizon, Wuthering Heights,
yeah,
Hunters Gatherer, as it does. But yeah, got a date, so that's coming as well. Annoyingly, I put this one on because it annoyed the hell out of me. The rumored The Division Definitive Edition from Ubisoft came out last week, Richie, for $44.99. The Division Definitive Edition has gone live on the PlayStation Store. However, only for PlayStation 4. Meaning there's no graphical enhancements. It's just a complete edition collection of all the DLC and assorted cosmetics. So, for 45 quid on PS4. Like, what are Ubisoft doing?
I don't see what the purpose of this is, because if you're interested in the Division... This is not the Division 2.
No, this is the original.
1. With all the content unlocked. I feel like you might be able to get it quite cheaper by buying piecemeal than 45 quid.
I mean, realistically, do you need all the cosmetics and the DLC initially? The gold edition of the Division's been out for years now, and that pretty much bundles everything they've mentioned here into it, except for like additional stuff. But yeah, Cosmetic Pack 6, Parade Cosmetic Pack, Let It Snow Cosmetic Pack, Last Stand expansion.
Ubisoft is in a good state.
They're really
there's a few union reps call for each game one to step down.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
The Division 3 though will be a banger when it comes out. I think it's such a good solid formula. It's wild that it's took them nearly 10 years to get another one out, but alas. Quick stories. Where have we got? I don't really want to talk about Game because it's Mike Ashley's shit, but Mike Ashley's done over another shop. Game in the UK, the retailer, formerly like Electronics Boutique. I think they absorbed Game Station at one point. Basically, the last place in the UK you could go for physical media of games has regressed and entered administration. You will now only find them within the back of a Sports Direct shop or the back of a House of Fraser as a little concession stand. And the concession stands already are shit. They have more Funko Pops and board games than they do actual game stuff. It's just... it's dead.
He didn't know what... He bought it, didn't know what to do with it, and it just ran it into the ground.
Nah, he bought it. The same reason he buys everything is when there's a company struggling, he has money. So he goes and buys it for the lowest... he just asset strips it for the property, most likely. Even like the game shops in and around probably London and major cities will probably turn enough profit on just selling the unit. But... we hate Mike Ashley here at GamerGuildTV.
Yes, we do.
And
yes, we do.
So,
although I did technically buy some footy boots from Amelia today.
Technically, but yeah, they're struggling.
There's no other high street sports stores.
No,
but, I didn't really have much choice.
Yeah, just such a shame. Like there was nothing better than going back in the day and buying it. But it's just the nature of the high street. It's changed so much, and there's currently now nowhere in the UK. You've got CX is probably the nearest thing now, and they're like a cash trade-in
Yeah,
cash
they're more of a
converters.
second hand.
Yeah, they don't sell anything
store.
brand new, but if you want to go buy physical
Have
games,
the purpose.
they do. I quite often frequent them just to find some retro games. But I'd never go in for like a main one. Just Amazon, that shit. Let's see. Amazon Luna updates. I promised them. I'm going to give you them purely because I did a whole video on it. So go check out the video if you want. As I said, I think to you before we went live recording, Richie, Amazon Luna quietly working away in the background. Besides all the Amazon cuts and layoffs and restructuring, did you know Luna added Alan Wake Remastered in January, amongst other things? Because I didn't. And when I saw this blog post, I actually initially went, oh, they've got Alan Wake 2. That's amazing. It's so disappointing that they don't have the original so you could play the first one, then the second one. And then I actually looked back and there was a blog post in January, which I didn't even see. And it came out in January. So you can now go play the entirety of Alan Wake in Control on Luna.
It's a shame that a lot of outlets just don't pick up on this.
No,
because we missed it, but like the likes of an IGN shouldn't be really.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to the Kind of Funny daily news show. Like, literally cover the news every day, and they didn't mention it. They don't even talk about Luna.
They've only ever talked about Luna when being sponsored by them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll do it for free here at GamerGuildTV. But either way,
if you want to give us some money, you can become up.
There's a full video there, and in that video in the blog post, I do point out as well, for Prime members, you can have Alan Wake 2 for free, amongst other games. Hogwarts Legacy is still on there. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is still on there for free. That's some big AAA games of the last 2 years. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is on there. So if you don't want to fork up for Game Pass and you happen to have Amazon Prime, there's some huge games for you to go and play there. But
Rams Crazy Golf.
Yeah, of course. The best of them all. The one that stood out for me, though, more importantly, Richie, is the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle DLC, Order of Giants, is included. Which means
awesome.
I believe this is the only place you can get the DLC for free. It's not on Game Pass. It's not on PlayStation Plus.
But is the main game included?
Yeah.
Yeah, or is it just the DLC? That'd be hilarious.
It's all
if
available.
they got the DLC for free, but the main game wasn't.
It would be a proper sharp twist around. But yeah, if you're on Amazon Prime, you can now play Indiana Jones and the Great Circle in its entirety with DLC for free. And you can stream it on any device.
Is also there as well.
The game list isn't half bad at all.
Yeah.
There's some shit ones, as always, but yeah, so go check out the video.
It's chipping away.
Boot up, played it. Typical cloud gaming. Ran perfectly fine for me. Booted up perfectly fine. A little bit of artifacting every now and again where like it refreshes, but ultimately go enjoy it, have fun, check out the video. Just wanted to highlight that. A couple of updates coming to Game Pass this month as well. We knew about some of them with the new games like High on Life 2 is kind of the big one for the month. That's the newest entry. But in terms of AAA titles, Madden NFL 26 is coming, which isn't too old. Kingdom Come Deliverance has been added back onto it. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora has gone onto it as well, so it's another one. And Avowed is now dropped down to the premium tier. So if you remember when the refresh Game Pass, they only put their day-and-date games on the Game Pass Ultimate tier.
Ultimate, yeah.
So now we're coming up on a year anniversary. Avowed is now dropped down onto the next tier, so you can get it if you don't have the full whack. But let's face it, if you're getting Game Pass, you might as well just get Ultimate. Don't dick around, just go all in.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Absolutely. And then the final story for us is The Last of Us. Is apparently the TV show The Last of Us, I should point out, is on its third season. There was a member of the HBO production team this week saying that apparently it might be its last season, which we were always in the mind that it was in for 4 seasons, but apparently not. And they've also done a little bit of a recasting. Danny Ramirez has now been replaced as well by someone called, can't find his name, Lenderborg Jr., whoever he is.
No idea.
No, Fraser Harrison? I don't know. The article's very poorly written. But we know Neil Druckmann's gone. Do you think this is just HBO panicking a little bit about the backlash from season 2 and killing off Joel and the wokeness of the game media getting involved and now everyone's bricking it?
I don't think it's so much that. I think a lot of the backlash is how they handled Ellie in the show compared to the game. She feels like a very different character. Her motivations feel differently in the TV show than they do in the game. I think it feels like a watered down version. I feel it's a bit harsh when people blame Bella Ramsey.
Yeah, I agree.
Because she's not in charge of the direction of the show.
Yeah. Well, it's the same people who go like, oh, Caitlin Dever isn't like bulky like Abby. And it's like, you hated Abby for being buff anyway. So what's your axe to grind now?
I don't think there's anything wrong with any acting in The Last of Us. Maybe the direction they took the show could be a bit better But
Well, we
I don't know.
presumed...
I think it's been fine.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to wrap up The Last of Us Part 2 game with the next season because we're about halfway through the game anyway.
Yeah, I think we presumed season 3 would be Abby's side of the story.
Yeah,
To kind of bring all those perspectives
and then bring it back together at the end.
And then bring it back. Or season 4 would kind of compromise of like what happens with the people in California after. But who knows? Who knows? If you do want to learn about it, find out more, or break it down, there's a whole show we do here on the channel, the Clicker Cast, where me and Richie break down all 2 seasons in meticulous detail, more so detail than I think even the HBO show did. So yeah, you can go check out the official podcast, but ours is we're the true fans.
Many of our podcasts are longer than the episodes.
They are. I think all of them are, in fact. And then the final one, Richie, because we always end up on kind of the TV space, the TV world. Fallout Season 2, just final thoughts, impressions on it, just to wrap out. Did you enjoy it? Did you want more?
I feel like it's half a season.
Yeah, I felt like it needed more. I kept asking my wife during it. I was like, does this... Because I didn't know how many episodes to look out for. Is it 8? Is it 10? So when it got to the final episode, I was like, does it feel like the end, or is it...
There's a couple of story threads that really haven't tied into the core 3 characters at all.
Or moved along at all. In 8 episodes, have they really moved forward at all?
A bit. There's a little bit of movement, but it doesn't feel like a full season worth of character progression and story progression. It feels like the first half of a season is done.
I don't feel like the Brotherhood's anywhere other than where it left off. It's just like, it's just a bunch of Brotherhood guys. We've got the Legion now.
Is that the Brotherhood? Spoilers, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, spoilers for if you've not watched it.
Sorry.
You should have played the games.
You've got, what do you call, oh, God, I can't remember.
The dad?
I can't remember the name. Eye Patch Lady. Eye Patch Lady is done. Her story,
Stephanie.
where's that tying in? Stephanie, where's her story tying in the overall plot of the show? Lucy's brother, who's Norman.
Yeah, Norm just didn't get anything.
Where's his story?
You know what? It started off so well when he was getting out of the vault and he had this crew with him, and then the way it ends, it's just like, so none of that needed to happen because
nothing's bad, but it feels like okay, we haven't seen how your part of the narrative is going to tie into everyone else's.
Yeah. I enjoyed the stuff.
So you could have just omitted them 2 storylines and nothing changes.
Yeah, I enjoyed the stuff with Robert House and Vegas, but again, I don't feel like it really went anywhere. It was just like, oh, cool.
I feel like I wanted more from Vegas.
Yeah, but then
they kind of got there.
Yeah,
there's this tiny little bit of a town. There's some death claws, and that's about 3 episodes.
Done.
Yeah.
And now we're off to Colorado.
But again,
what's the
I enjoyed every single episode, but
Same.
It was kind of anticlimactic that this was the season finale. It's like, oh, it feels like a mid-season break rather than an end of season.
Agreed. But thankfully, they have been able to turn 2 seasons around in quite a clip. It feels like only a 1-year gap, maybe, and they've got season 2. So we're going to see season 3 by 2027. So it's not the end of the world. It does suck sometimes when it's like I'm left for wanting more. But yeah, me and my wife enjoyed it. Done dusted. What did you think the reset button was at the end when he pressed it? Is he now complete blank slate? I thought his head was going to explode.
I think his memories have been wiped a bit.
Imagine if he was just acting. He's just like, I'll just pretend I've been wiped, and then as soon as she leaves, he's like, right, bye.
Oh, actually, my take was it because there was the head in the jar, wasn't it? That Lucy got rid of.
The senator woman.
My head, I think she was providing the personality to all the people with the chips.
Yeah.
But now there's no head in there. He's pressed the button. There's no template for personality.
So just do what they want. Pick it up, learn
so
as they go.
Well, it's just blank. They've just been installed with a blank personality.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. What's the connection possibly to Colorado then? What is it? The games? Do we go there? Is 3, 4, 2 set there? Because it felt like it was setting up like it did Vegas at the end of season 1. It's like, oh, we're going to Colorado. Like I felt like it was like an Easter egg at the end, so I felt like it should have meant more, and it didn't tick any boxes in my head of like, oh, I know this from Fallout.
I don't know.
Maybe Fallout 5's going to be there. Dun, dun, dun.
Fallout 3 was set in Washington. Fallout 4 is in
Maine.
No,
another DLC's in Maine, isn't it? Far Harbor. That's in Maine. Right?
Oh, what's the setting? It's Boston, I think.
Oh, so next to Maine. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If the DLC was there, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so New Vegas is obviously set in Vegas.
Is it?
Yeah.
No shit.
So I don't know where the Colorado ties come in.
Huh. Oh well. Guess
I'm
we'll
not
find
that deep on the Fallout games. I've played bits of 3 in New Vegas, but my most experience is with 4.
Cool. Mine was 76, so there you go. That's it for the news, folks. We like to round out every episode every week by looking at this day in video gaming history. We're recording this on Friday, the 6th of February. Anything stand out for you, Richie?
Street Fighter 2 in the arcades 35 years ago.
In the arcades.
Can't really say that's not a standout title, can you?
No, definitely not. 20 years ago, we got Command and Conquer: The First Decade, which is where they kind of packaged everything into a collector's edition. I remember buying it thinking, oh, sweet, I've got them all in one nice package. And then I only ever played Red Alert 2 and Yuri's Revenge anyway. I think I have on my shelf somewhere as well, actually. The packaging was nice. Nothing else for
That's
me.
on the February 7th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing else on the 7th.
Hogwarts Legacy, 3 years ago today.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
That's been 3 years.
Yeah, it has. Well, again, it's the same age as my daughter, give or take. So she's 3.
February the 8th, 27 years ago, Mario Party, the original Mario Party.
Yeah, it's a big one.
1964.
1999. 27 years. Damn.
I think that's about it, really.
2 years ago, Helldivers 2 on the PS5 and PC. Again,
Yeah.
big one. 2 years already, but yeah, time's just an absolute blob of shape at the moment. Don't know what it is. Oh, there's a good one. Blob of shape. 19 years ago in Japan, we got Cooking Mama on the Wii. And just a shout out to Cooking Mama because I remember that. Yeah. Not necessarily the Wii one, I remember the DS one blowing up. Like, not necessarily in our circles, but my sister and her friend groups absolutely loved Cooking Mama. That was like that and what was the Pets one? Was it just called?
Nintendogs.
Nintendogs, yeah. It was that and Cooking Mama was like, and the Brain Trainer one was like the shit between like casual.
It's no wonder the DS
gamers.
was one of the highest selling consoles of all time.
Actually, side note, just beat this week by the Switch. Just pipped it in the record, so it's 5 million behind.
Sales?
No, they're
just
separate.
Switch one.
No, just Switch one and all the variations. So yeah, it's pipped that. It's up to 55 million, which means it's 5 million behind the PS2 now. Could do it, you know. If they keep it on the market and keep doing sales, I could see them selling 5 million in the next 2 years.
Could do.
And then PlayStation will come out and go, oh, actually, we found another 5 million hidden in a warehouse that we actually sold. I would buy a brand new PS2 if they put it on the market now, you know. Exactly the same thing. Just put it out. I'd buy it. Because I've got the games, and it would run better because it's a brand new piece of tech. How much would you charge for a PS2 brand new today? Not a retro one repackaged, but like literally fresh out the factory, on the market, all
as
tech.
if this was a production thing.
Yeah, this is a thing you can go on Amazon and just buy brand new of a PS2, DVD player included.
I reckon you can get 200 for it.
Maybe a wireless controller instead of the wired one. That'd be a nice touch. Built-in memory rather than memory cards. That'd be a nice touch.
Depending on the production runs, I think you can get 200 quid for that.
And I'd pay it as well. Because we had the classics, didn't we? We had the shrunken NES, we had the shrunken PlayStation 1, the shrunken SNES, and then they stopped.
Yeah.
We need a mini Xbox.
But what they need to do is they need to make a shrunken one, but also leave the disc drive in.
Yes, give me it. Yeah, because you got the shrunken Mega Drives as well. You can get the mini Mega Drives. But yeah,
have the pre-installed stuff. Give it a proper digital storefront so you could download up new games.
Yeah.
But no, don't. Just detachable disc drive. There you go. Use the same disc drive as the PS5.
I mean, the components of a PS2 must be dirt cheap by today's standards, right? Just by
probably
how
not,
low
because
powered.
no one uses them. It's probably one of them weird things because they're not in production by any companies. The resources would be abundant. The technology would be easy to make because the production runs aren't there because no one's using that level of technology anymore.
True. At least you wouldn't need like the costly part, which is the memory, because let's face it, like most game saves are like 2 meg, if that, kilobytes still. So then you're not spending a fortune.
A PS2 with an SSD.
God, I'd buy it. Come on, PlayStation, give us an anniversary edition.
You know what?
Of PS2.
It'd be cheaper to just make a PS4. Just probably cheaper to make a PS4, but with a PS2 like OS on it.
Yeah, but I want it on my shelf looking like a PS2.
Oh yeah, You put it in the PS2 casing, but under the hood, it's actually just a PS4. Yeah.
I mean, I'd still buy it regardless. But
backwards compatible for PS3.
Oh, if only one will crack that egg one day. But that's been it for episode 130 of the GamerGuild Podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Thank you for everyone who's persevered through Richie's blocked nostrils. And hopefully you'll be a little bit fresher next week. Or maybe you'll feel better, and when we go to this gaming convention, you'll have given it to me and Tom, and we'll both be dying next week instead. You can sit in the back of the car. You can sit in the back of the car with the mask on, as far as I'm concerned. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Remember, play wherever makes you the happiest. My name's been Chris.
And I've been Richie.
We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.